All right, let's familiarize with the book. In this case, okay. So I like this because it kind of give me the kind of the idea of the whole idea of the book. It says if you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one. And the book is talking about the one thing, right? So it makes sense. Table of context. So the first thing that I see in this book is it has three parts. I would say four parts because this one is not four parts because this one is not um, labeled as a part, but I can see support. See, putting the one thing into work. So meaning this is, I guess, this will be the theory part, and this will be the practice part. So I'll say have four parts, but see, they are not that long, if you think about it, or if you, as you can see, one is, for example, for part one, from page 26 to page 96. Yeah, that's about 70 pages. Okay, the second part is like 36 pages or 34 pages more or less. It's okay, it's doable. I don't think it's bad. Also, it has, let me go back, 240. Yeah, it has like about 240 pages, 240 pages. It's okay. It's an average size book. It also depends of the type of language that is used, but I think it should be pretty easy to read. So one thing I do sometimes, as I mentioned to you, I go to a random page. For example, this area, blowing up your life. This is the part in where I mentioned to you previously in the first video, saying this is where I'm starting to getting into a conversation with the book for the first time. Something I found interesting in this book is, see this area that they have lined up in here. It seems like when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, did someone mark up the book? But no, it's actually the book came like this. So they actually highlight for you, like with pencil, like if you do it with pencil, they highlight it for you. So you think this is, I mean, they think this is an important sentence for you to take a look at. Same thing here when they put these big ideas. It's more of a, I like how it has a more of a handwriting type of sense or feeling. That's the what I was looking for. Same thing here. Look at this graphic. It has a handwriting type of feeling. I like that. Okay, so I'll start to marking the parts. One thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use some post-its that I already used before in another book that I picked up from the library previously. So what I'm gonna do, okay, let me go to this area because as I mentioned to you, I feel that this is another part when you, this is theory and this is practice maybe. So I go to page 218, which will be the fourth part, 218, this one. And I'm gonna start marking up the chapters. I'm gonna reuse these post-its. So if you're picking up a book from the library, I'll ask you to be really careful about it, meaning it's not the same as if the book were your property. I feel like you should be really careful about it because if you're really careful about it, you're gonna be preserving this book from someone else to read it, right? So that's why I'm planning to put these post-its in here so I can show you how I do when I'm familiar, when I'm starting to read a book. But I'm thinking, I mean, my idea is to taking them out after I finish reading. So this is gonna be part 4, according to my interpretation of it. Part 3 is gonna be 130, page 130. Part 3. I'm gonna mark this up. I'm gonna show you a trick at this point because as you saw previously, I started marking up the book from the last page to the first page. Why am I doing this? Because that helps me out to see when I put the post-its like this. You know what? I'm gonna choose another color so you can see it better. Let's do that one more time. Didn't realize that until now. Maybe this is better. This color is better on camera. Now I can show you why. So see that you can see that I'm starting from bottom, I mean from the last page up, because that way I can place the post-its in a way that they are you know, near each other. And then I can change that. I can move it a little bit to the right if I want to. The idea of this is to make it pretty, you know, make it enjoyable for you to read. If that is important to you, if not, that's okay. I just, you know, sharing with you what is being helpful for me. But if it doesn't help you out, that's also okay. That's part 2. It's marked up. And then part 1, 26. 26, 26. 26. Something like this. Let me see. When I'm trying to show you how it's gonna look. Because one thing that I found really, that I really like is, for example, imagine I'm in this page. Imagine I'm already in part 1, right? I'm started to read part 1. I make some progress, and then from now and then I see this little posted in here, which is showing me this is part 2. So I'm feeling that I am getting closer to it. So I'm feeling that while I'm reading, I'm feeling that I'm getting closer to my goal. At the same time, if I find something, because sometimes I used to take some notes aside, so I have a little notebook in where if I found something that I really like, I put it there. I write it there. For example, I can say, okay, I found this quote in this book in part 2, so I know if I need to go back to it, I know this is part 2 already. And I don't know, it becomes handy to me. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I typically do. Typically take me more time. Some other times, for example, as I did, that paragraph that I read, this one, maybe sometimes I read more than one paragraph for sure, and take more time to look at them, the amount of pages that are from one to another. As I mentioned to you before, it depends on the book, what the books have to tell me. As I mentioned to you, it's like I'm talking to someone else. I just want to do it right now with you in a way that you can kind of get the idea that I was conveying in one of our first videos. So I kind of want to make it shorter. An example, let me show you an example here. So the first thing, before I get to the example, the first thing I want to, this is the first thing I do after I picked out the book. So I picked out the book I really like. I familiarized with it. I decided at what time I'm going to read. I already know at what time I'm going to read because that's something that I typically do every single day. So I already have that set up, but in your case will be deciding what time. And then next thing I have to do is start reading at the time I put it in my calendar, and that's it. Now, 2 examples. This is a book that I showed you in the first video, in where I already show you some examples of how to start marking up the chapters. Let me see if I can put it in a way that you can see it. See, these are all of the chapters that I put in this book. And I already familiarized with it, etc. However, I haven't started reading this book just yet. But I already did the familiarizing part. Now, this is the book I already read, and as you can see, I place here some markers of the chapters, right? I also have all of these post-its in here. Why? Well, this book, as you can see, I really liked it because I marked it a lot. So these are areas that I found interested because I was studying it. This book I read because I was studying this subject also. So I marked up a lot of information that I found really interesting. I really liked it. So why am I showing you this is because at first I put the chapters in here, giving some room, or the divisions in here, giving some room for some information that I found interesting in the book to be highlighted in the side of the book. That's why I put it here. However, if you prefer, you can mark the chapters in the side of the book, whatever you feel it works better for you. So, as I mentioned, this is an example of a book that I haven't read that has the markers in here, the post-its in here. This is an example of a book that I already read with the markers in here, and then whatever I felt it was important for me from the book in the side of the book. So in the next chapter, well, yeah, I guess the next chapter, the next video, we are going to start with implementing our goal, like starting the new habit. That is reading for the first week. So we're going to start reading for the first week, 5 minutes a day. It's going to be a 5-minute video, and I'm going to upload one video every day of the week for the first week, 5 minutes long. The only thing I'll ask you is to hit play I'm gonna read. While you're reading, I'm gonna be silent. Maybe I'm gonna play some music, as I said to you previously. You are welcome to listen to the music. If you don't like it, just turn the volume down, and you don't have to listen to it by any means. But I'm gonna be next to you reading 5 minutes a day for the first week. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I see you then. Bye bye.